All right, thank you very much. All right, so the name of the application is called Zazool. So Zazool is a platform for technology experts. So it is designed for technology experts and will include jobs specific to our fields, including software development, engineering. Yeah, you can find jobs for UX designers and everyone of that sort. But before we dive into the project, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Irvin Springer, and I work for a travel technology company. I start off with a partner with this project, but I think he had some prior engagements within the first 3 weeks of our cohort, so he couldn't make it to the end. But through perseverance and through help with my team and also the instructions and TA, I was able to complete this project. So one of the first things I'd like to tell you guys is about my experience at 4Geeks. This picture pretty much summarizes my experience. It was a lot of hard work. It was days of frustration, but at the end of the day, I was able to complete the cohort, and the most rewarding thing was the completion and having the ability to design a project and work on a project that I could actually see in fruition through the future. Okay, so as I mentioned before, Zazool is the job site for techs. So if you're a UX designer, if you're a software engineer, you complete in the cohort, we have a place for you guys that you could begin your search for work. So by a raise of hands, how many people are brand new to the cohort this week? Excellent. So question for you, what is your ultimate goal when you complete the cohort?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, my ultimate goal is, I don't have any experience at all in coding or development, so that's sort of my goal is just to get, to be able to develop websites, to be able to work on mobile apps as well.
Excellent. How many people here are looking for jobs after this cohort? So ultimately, with myself included and a lot of us here, our ultimate end goal is to land a job in tech, right? So I didn't know this, but job seekers actually search 10 different job boards before they actually apply for a single job. So you might be saying, what about the likes of, so before I go on, is it just another ordinary job board? What about Monster.com? What about Indeed? What about ZipRecruiter? They're already there, they're already established. But what I intend to do is to declutter the search mess. So you're searching for a job on ZipRecruiter, it might give you, yes, it might give you some development jobs, but it might give you everything else. So the key goal of this platform is to aggregate certain sites using their APIs. So job seekers will search the APIs of Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and Monster.com. So the application will be an aggregator pulling targeted job search results from specific job boards that I mentioned before. So the technology is utilized. On the back end, as my colleagues mentioned before, we utilize Django, RESTful APIs, and MySQL. And on the front end, I was able to utilize React, which you guys will work thoroughly through for the rest of this cohort, CSS, HTML5, and Bootstrap. And last but not least, sweat. A lot of sweat and a lot of heart in order to get this job completed. Now, at every step of the way, there are multiple challenges that we faced. I could tell you, every single project we worked on, it was a challenge. But the nice thing is, there's always a silver lining at the end. We relied heavily on not only Google and Stack Overflow, but also on our peers, our instructor, and our TAs. And I'd like to thank you guys very much for your patience and everything else. So this is the project here. So we'll take a deep dive. I have it embedded, but I have a video here that will take us through. Hello guys, welcome to Zazool, the job for tech's web application. As I mentioned earlier before, Zazool was created utilizing a plethora of technologies. On the front end, we utilize React.js, CSS, HTML5, and Bootstrap. And on the back end, we utilize the Django RESTful APIs and MySQL as the database of choice. Every single point on this application was built component by component. So everything here is a component. At the beginning, at the very top, we have a navbar component, followed by a jumbotron with a search functionality sitting on top of it, and 3 cards for informational purposes, one for job seekers, one for employers, and one for individuals wishing to book a consultation with Zazool. The third component is a video embed component pulling from a playlist via YouTube. All individual videos on this playlist is centered around interviews and interviewing tips, and the most asked interviewing tips for web and technology interviews. And at the bottom here, we have a blog component pulling from our backend API. The information on this blog are also consistent with what we are trying to achieve, getting individuals ready for jobs in tech. For example, if you care, it'll bring you to an individual blog post. All the information here is being pulled by a RESTful API from our blog API via the backend. In order to see all the individual blog listings on our website, you click here on Insight. As you scroll through, you'll see every single blog post being mapped. In order to take full advantage of Zazool, one must sign up. In order to sign up, you click here. Users can sign up via Facebook, Google, or utilizing their email and password. Once the individual signs up, they can log in. You can put your email address, password, and sign in. On sign in, you'll be taken to a profile page where you'll see your username, email, password, telephone, and address. All this information can be edited here. Also, job seekers may want to upload their resume via individual forms, or click here and they'll be able to update their resume. For example, this user works at Limitless Technology and is an API integration developer. All his job details are listed here, along with his education and skills. And all this information is being pulled via the backend from our candidates API. On logout, the user will be taken to the front of the website or the front page of the application. Now let's jump into the main functionality of this application, which is the search functionality. Users can search Zazool either by location or by job title. Let's say, for example, a user wants to search for a job in Atlanta. On search, the job results will show on the left. Right now, we have 2 jobs situated in Atlanta. Once clicked, all the job details will appear on the right. A user may wish to search for jobs in Miami. Once clicked, all the search results from Miami will appear on the left pane. In order to see the details of the job, click on Show, and all the job description and details, including responsibility, qualifications needed, skills, and salary, will appear on the right. Users also have the benefit to search by job title. For example, user can search by developer. And we can also search by, let's say, for instance, UX. And all information will be dynamically pulled from our backend jobs API. At this juncture, these are the main functionality of Zazool. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, guys. So moving forward, one of the key things I'd like to work on is a drag and drop resume upload where an individual can actually upload their entire resume via Word or via PDF, and also to work out the employer side of things, where employers can actually search for candidates, and individuals can apply directly to jobs via the application. Thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Sure.
So what you're trying to do, I mean, how you're trying to place Zazool is, apart from these other search platforms, is that I'm not a developer myself, but the way I understand it is that you're trying to connect multiple queries, multiple tables. You're cross-linking them in a way to give the user like a better way to do a more refined search. So not only by location, but also by, let's say, either job title. Let's say if I'm a developer and I have a specialty in Python, right? I just type in Python, Miami, and boom. Then I see all the jobs that are related to Python that are in Miami. So in a way, you're refining that search. Is that what the Zazool aims to do?
100%. You're absolutely correct. And one of the key things, and also during my searching for these APIs, I wrote to Career Builder, I wrote to Monster, and I also wrote to Indeed. And a lot of them before, they used to have open APIs, and I found it peculiar that now they're closed up and you actually have to apply and have certain amount of visits to your website in order to get access to the API. So there must be some fundamental reason why a lot of these companies are not keeping their APIs and holding on to them with dear life. One of the funniest ones was ZipRecruiter. They reached out to me and they're like, yes, you could indeed get the API, but you know what? Why build your own platform when you could get ZipRecruiter to do a white label for you? So they were trying to sell me a white label product in the end, but I was able to get their API. So the whole premise now is to utilize those 3 APIs and integrate it into the application.
And by getting their API, you can access pretty much the data, what they allow you to see. Yeah,
all the job listings and all the different locations.
I mean, worldwide or only?
Yeah, worldwide. No worries. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time.